Drive down any suburban street today and count the vehicles. You'll see matching luxury SUVs, lifted trucks, and a boat peeking out of the garage. It looks like everyone is doing exceptionally well. In reality, maintaining that driveway requires a massive volume of debt. People are pouring a huge percentage of their take-home pay into financing the metal boxes sitting outside their house. The math running in the background is bleak. The average auto trade-in right now carries over $7,000 in negative equity, meaning people owe thousands more than their old car is worth. Dealerships simply roll that deficit into a new 84-month loan. Meanwhile, homeowners are draining the equity from their houses through credit lines to consolidate their credit card bills, while telling the neighbors they are renovating the kitchen. All of this creates a severe cash flow problem. 36% of Americans earning over $200,000 a year currently live paycheck to paycheck, completely locked into a cycle of funding a lifestyle treadmill they can never step off of. The person actually winning on this street is the one driving a faded, decade-old sedan. They have zero auto loans, their clothes have no logos, and skip the expensive dinner out. They hold the actual wealth in the neighborhood, and you would never know it by looking at them. The financial system is engineered to extract money through status-driven visibility. True wealth is what you cannot see, while debt is what you can. To understand exactly how this extraction works, look at the structural tier system inside your bank. The bank knows your balance, and based strictly on that number, it decides what kind of customer you get to be. If your balance drops and a bill clears a day early, the bank hits you with a $35 overdraft fee. Statistically, accounts carrying less than $350 absorb the overwhelming majority of these penalties. The bank takes that overdraft revenue and redistributes it to fund waived fees, premium rewards, and private airport lounges for their top-tier clients. The poorest customers literally pay for the privileges of the richest. Push past the millions into ultra-wealth, and the rules invert entirely. Instead of selling assets and paying heavy income taxes, the wealthy execute a strategy called buy, borrow, die. They pledge their stock portfolios to the bank and take out low-interest loans against them. They live on the borrowed cash, their stocks continue to grow, and the loans are eventually paid off by their estate when they pass away. Because they pulled debt instead of taxable income, billionaires pay incredibly low effective rates. Between 2014 and 2018, Jeff Bezos paid a true tax rate of 0.98%. While the top uses debt as a highly efficient tax shelter, the middle class relies on fragmented debt just to function. Consumers now use microloans to finance grocery deliveries in installments, or carry credit card balances at 24% interest to fund youth travel sports seasons that run $15,000 a year. Banking functions as a sorting algorithm designed to extract high margins from aspirational spenders to fund the lifestyles of the capital class. The most universal piece of financial advice is that you should spend no more than 30% of your income on housing to build equity. That rule originated from the Brooke Amendment in 1969. It was never a universal budget formula, but a specific government cap designed to limit how much could be charged to low-income tenants in public housing. Under the Reagan administration in 1981, that government cap was bumped to 30%. The rule froze in the cultural consciousness, even as healthcare, education, and vehicle costs exploded around it. This chart maps a 30-year mortgage at 6.3%. Out of a $2,000 payment, $1,600 is pure interest. It takes 19 years for principal to exceed interest. Now add insurance, maintenance, and tax reassessments. The total cost punches straight off the scale. People endure these compounding costs because they believe houses always appreciate. But data compiled by Nobel laureate Robert Shiller tells a different story. Adjusted for inflation, real estate appreciation was virtually flat for over a century, from 1890 to 1997. The idea that housing is a money-printing machine is a highly recent anomaly. The decision to buy a house today is often signing a heavily taxed 30-year debt contract, masquerading as a wealth-building asset. Wall Street runs a parallel machine. The financial industry tells you that building wealth requires active trading, constant vigilance, and complex portfolios. The Dalbar quantitative study proves the opposite. The average investor drastically underperforms the S&P 500 because they panic during market dips, chase stock fads, and time their entries and exits. The market does the work. Human interference destroys the returns. This diverging line graph shows two identical $1 million portfolios, both earning a 7% return over 30 years. The top line uses an index fund charging 0.03%. The bottom line pays a 1% management fee to an advisor. That fee drains over $500,000 from the final balance. The financial industry profits directly from your anxiety. They charge you a premium to actively underperform a product you could buy yourself for pennies. Building wealth that actually sticks requires opting out of these active traps by weaponizing your own laziness. You open a brokerage account. You deposit $10,000 into a total stock market index fund, which simply buys you a tiny piece of every major American company, and you set up an automatic transfer of $400 every payday. Then you do not log in again. This bar chart tracks that exact scenario. For the first few years, your monthly contributions do the heavy lifting. But watch what happens right here at year 10. This is the inflection point where the annual interest earned officially surpasses the cash you put in. Your money is now doing more work than you are. The wealthy shield this compounding money from taxes by automating the accounts themselves. They toggle on auto escalation in their 401ks, so their contribution bumps up 1% every year automatically. They max out health savings accounts and invest the balance for tax-free growth. They execute Roth conversions during low-income years to secure tax-free withdrawals later. Generating generational wealth is a mathematical inevitability for anyone who can automate boring decisions and refuse to touch them. The high-stress, highly visible lifestyle requires constant maintenance and a fear of missing a single payment. True financial peace comes from opting out of the status game entirely. It looks like this: a faded, decade-old sedan sitting at a gas pump, owned by someone whose investments quietly compound in the background while they live their actual life. Pick one automated action today. Turn on your 401k auto-escalate, or set up a recurring index fund transfer. Spend 30 minutes setting it up tonight, close the tab, and walk away. The American financial system's default setting is broke. To win, you only have to change the default once.